Hey, Richard Myers here. Hey, it's nice to talk to you again, and thank you for joining me. You know that I believe, perhaps you don't know, I believe the church should have no relationship at all with the government. This means that it should not seek to obtain or participate in any tax deductible status. Here's the problem: when you join in partnership with a more powerful entity, by definition, the powerful entity then controls you. It's the law of nature. If you join in a partnership with China as a little African nation, China's going all over the world seeking to establish partnerships with nations, and they loan them money. But anytime you enter into a partnership, then they control you, they own you. And this is a biblical principle. I won't go into that in the short time I have. And so it's tax time. I have an appointment to have my taxes done here this next week, and we'll see how much we owe the government, and if anything. And virtually, so my wife asked me, do we need to keep track of our donations? And I said, no, it doesn't matter. And I gave some false information out. Not false. It just was I wasn't fully informed. But you cannot deduct. You do. Let's rephrase that. You do not deduct your giving to a church or a mission organization or even to the Salvation Army or whatever. You do not deduct that from your income tax any longer. And here's why. And this is what many of you, if you use TurboTax and some of these other, you kind of put your number in, and then the computer spits out your return and you file it. And so most of us do not know the details of how the form and what you fill out. But normally, it used to be, let's say it that way, it used to be that you could itemize your deductions, and you could deduct things like your donations to authorized or certified tax deductible organizations. And every organization advertises immediately, we're tax deductible. If you give to us, you can deduct it off your taxes. But the fact of the matter is you don't. And let me explain why. So this is from an organization called Ministry Watch. And I knew the figures were bad, but I didn't quite know they were this bad. So in an attempt to simplify the tax return a few years back, I think it was under Trump, what they did was they just increased the standard deduction. I think it's $24,000 for a marital community, the standard deduction, and that eliminated the itemization of your tax deductible gifts. And so basically the tax deductible gifts didn't matter anymore because they were rolled into a standard deduction. And I assume that most taxpayers did not took the standard deduction. Well, here's the numbers. Only 12% of tax filers itemize deductions. That means 88%. That means you and I, virtually everybody listening to this YouTube video, you do not itemize deductions. You take the standard deduction because it's greater than if you tried to itemize. 88% of people do not itemize. Now, I didn't know it ended last year in 2021, so we're filing 2022 now. They allowed you $300, so you itemized deductions, then they would give you an extra $300 for your donation to the church. For the marital community, it was $600, and so you got an automatic $600 tax deduction based on to allow you to give to tax deductible organizations or to encourage you to give. Well, what I didn't realize is that feature expired in 2021. So in 2022, this year, you get nothing. So there's no deduction for charitable givings whatsoever unless you're in the 12% group, and and I think that's. I mean, it's over $100,000 of income before you even approach deducting or itemizing your deductions. So the idea that you could form a church, seek application to the IRS, and become a tax exempt organization And you think, well, we need to do it because of the tax exemption. And all you pastors out there and all you people that are on trustee boards and so forth believe this just isn't true. You do not, cannot, you do not deduct your tax that you're giving to the church any longer unless you're an extraordinarily wealthy person. Now, to that wealthy person, it might mean something to take a deduction. But I'm saying if there's that kind of motivation, we've got deeper problems in the fellowship than you might imagine. And so I just wanted to bring that to you. When you file your tax returns, you do not itemize your deductions. You take the standard deduction, even if you have a home mortgage. You take the standard deduction, and you do not itemize your gifts to the church. They are not tax deductible. They don't really matter as far as reducing your tax bill. Hey, I'm going to leave this update here, and just wanted to pass that on. As you know, I believe, and I could describe how a church could withdraw from the system, separate itself from the government, and somebody would say, well, it doesn't really matter. And even people that I love and cherish that should know better say, well, it's okay. It's something we need to do. Trust me, dearly beloved, the church should have the body of Christ should have no relationship with the government, because in doing so, the government controls you, and controlling the body of Christ is given over to the Lord, the head of the church, and certainly not a secular and evil government. Hey, God bless you, and I hope your tax filing is as painless as possible. Thank you.